present. Welcome Tuesday, May 27th, 2025, regular board meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Butts, roll call please. Mr. Kieran. Here. Ms. Dane. Here. Mr. Gillingham. Here. Mr. Masson. Here. Ms. Fincher. Here. Mr. Cybert. Here. Mr. West. Here. Ms. Stelling. Here. Mr. Houston. Here. Our mission statement: we are a learning community providing students with a competitive advantage through career, technical education, and academic excellence. The reason we're here. Consent agenda. Approval of the consent agenda items. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Any questions or comments?
Separate the one that you are usually that by motion would get to the very end.
Hearing none. Roll call. Mrs. Elliott.
Aye.
Mr. Kieran. Aye. Mrs. Dane. Mr. Gillingham.
Aye.
Mr. Masson.
Aye.
Ms. Fisher.
Aye.
Mr. Cybert.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Yes.
Mr. Houston. Aye. Public participation. Do we have anyone like to speak at the board meeting? Okay. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be June 24th at 6 o'clock here, please. And then we have a work session scheduled for July 3rd at 4 o'clock.
Also here. All meetings will be here until August. Gary tore up the whole south campus. Every square inch of it. Yes.
Yes.
By August first, we should be good to start rotating.
All right. Educational presentation.
The first one I'd like to present is I've asked Fish to come forward and present an award of distinction that we got from Project Lead the Way.
Good evening, everyone. So what I wanted to say for this is that Medina County Career Center, we're very honored that we were named one of the Project Lead the Way Distinguished High Schools for 2024-2025. Now, the reason this is noteworthy is for two reasons. I'll read what they say on the award, which isn't going to tell us much, and then I'll say why that's important. But they said it recognizes schools committed to empowering students through increased access, engagement, and achievement in project-based STEM. Now, what's really big about this is that there's only 21 high schools in the state of Ohio that are getting this recognition. And out of all those 21 high schools you look at, we're the only career technical center that had an individual recognition for this. So I think that's pretty big. You go back through the history, it's not very common that a career technical center gets this individual recognition. There's other schools like Medina High School and Brunswick High School who do an awesome job with their Project Lead the Way classes. Those are in partnership with us. Those received that recognition as well. But there isn't anybody that's just a career technical center. So we're very honored for that. What they recognize out of this is the course offering. So we have the engineering classes. Mrs. Beach is actually here today with us sitting in the 5 classes they offer through the engineering program. And then we have 9 classes that we offer in partnership with your middle schools and high schools. So they're looking at the total number of programs offered. They're also looking at student participation. And they said it's 25% or more of all the students that are 7 and up. That's one of the requirements for this. And we exceeded that with the programs we offer here on site and also in partnership with your home districts. So that's really recognizing that we're getting students exposed to those STEM programming, getting them into those science related fields, which obviously there's a great need for that right now. And then the other thing is equitable access, that all students have the ability to get into these classes and have access to it, which yes, that is true through this. So again, I just want to emphasize this, not very many people as a team that we can achieve something like this, and this through all the support. Mr. Crispin, Mr. Hicks, the board, my team members of the high school, this is and the teachers who are the ones on the ground doing all of this work for students. And it's just we're very happy that they were recognizing how I work with everybody that's on our team. So
And I got a question. How many high schools provide project lead way to state?
I'd have to look at the exact number. I know some of the other career technical centers like Polaris does partner and offer some classes with, they have a pretty robust satellite program. And those are project lead way classes that they do. Pioneer does that, I believe, CDCC. But so there's quite a few that offer these. The biggest one I can think of is Great Oaks. Obviously, that's like huge. They have 6 campuses and they offer them to every single one of the districts we work with. But ours, I can tell you, is comparatively speaking, size-wise to the other career technical centers in the area. The players have been doing it longer than us.
I just want to total schools, not necessarily career technical.
Laura, you possibly going to do that?
No. I can find that out and get that
I was
to
just-
you.
There's a map on their thing. I was trying to pull that up really quick, but there's a lot of dots in there.
Yeah, quite a few. And then we have, I think we're at or near 3,000 students that we reached through this program now at this point. So again, that's the testament to that everybody that's in this room that supports this, that we're able to run these programs and reach that many students that aren't on site here at the Career Center. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No, this is the Clover's first year for Project Leadaway, and they just got that all. They just got it up on it.
They've been great partners so far. They're very nice to work with.
They should be, but as much as they love it, they should be, you know, it's something. They brag about it all the time.
Good to hear that. Thank you. Any other questions?
Here's the map of Ohio, how many students are in each one of those areas. So it's a lot. It's pretty much Ohio wide.
Our 3LTW contact, I can get those numbers if you will, just for context.
Curious, you know, they need 21 awards, I'm sure there's quite a few that didn't get awards.
Yeah.
Majority of them, so, okay, thank you, thanks that.
Thank you.
And the other one is along the same lines, Tad, you want to talk about the project that way? Thank you. Notes from our retiring friend.
Yeah. Most of the room have seen this before. Nikki Ferrugia over at AI Root is a phenomenal teacher, and she's a huge advocate for the science and STEM related fields, and particularly the Career Center. You go in her classroom, she has posters up that just show how each thing they learn in that class how it ties into fields that we offer here at the Career Center, post-secondary, and all of that. She's retiring, sadly. Very happy for her. She's been a tremendous partner, not just for her students, but for the Career Center. And she does the thank you messages, which you guys have seen before, which we love getting this. It's a nice thing to see what the students feel about these classes. And I will say all she does is she tells them that we partner and that we're helping provide these classes in the district. She doesn't tell them what to write. This is all from the students. So for me, when I go through this, it makes me feel good every time, just based on seeing what they're getting out of it and why they like these classes. So we'd like to share this with everyone here. And we're going to miss working with her. I hear there's a tremendous teacher coming into her position, but Nikki's one of a kind. So we just want to say thank you for her service as well with us.
To that extent, we're in every local school district. We are also in St. Ambrose, and Pat is currently talking to Black River to re-engage those conversations. So
It's actually out there this afternoon.
so as late as this afternoon, he's having those conversations to re-engage Black River. Yeah. Thank you, Tad.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. So we'll make a motion for the approval of April 22nd, 2025 board meeting minutes.
So moved, second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call please. Ms. Richard?
Aye.
Mr. Gillingham? Mr. Karen?
Aye.
Ms. Dane?
Aye.
Mr. Mattson?
Aye.
Mr. Seibert?
Aye.
Mr. West?
Yes.
Mrs. Dowling?
Aye.
Mr. Hughes? Aye. Spots, treasurer's items for information, please. Thank you, Mr. President. Under monthly financial projection, just give you where we are right now. We currently have just over $17.5 million in investments. The investments are doing very well right now with our return. And compared to this time Last year, we we're down 1.6 million, mainly due to, we took on board the bond issue last year, so that's the big difference in cost. Under item B, I did add investment interest. I had some discussions, with, staff member that maintains one of our scholarships. And they were wondering if it would be possible to possibly put interest allocations into the 007 scholarships like we used to. It would have to be a language added to the board for your approval. And then if you guys decide to go down that road, we could just do a small amount, 5%, let's just say Star Investments, Star Ohio Investments, or we could do a month or 2 months at a time. Interest allocation to be divided evenly amongst all scholarships.
Would you do a percentage or a flat maximize?
It's really up to you. I mean, if you look at what we made in Star Ohio on a monthly basis, I mean, we're looking at probably 30 to 50, depending on what month, $1,000. You know, 1% of that is 5%. But if you do 5% over the year,
I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, you know, on what you think would be a fair percentage. And, you know, how long the term is already still for doing 2 or 3 year increments or we do it.
we can do it in stocks.
What's the scholarships used for?
Oh, various things. I mean, part of this would be the Don Simmons Scholarship, the Teachers Union Scholarship, the Superintendent Scholarship, the Murray Bayonet Scholarship. I mean, we have a number of scholarships on file.
And you said previous boards done this.
Previously, the auditors didn't like the fact that we didn't have language in there to distribute interest allocations. And we said, okay, well, fine, I'll just put on the general fund. And that's what we've done since the auditors brought that up.
So, if I get it right, you're talking about using some of the funds that we made in interest to donate to the scholarships?
Well, yeah, sort of.
Fund the scholarship.
Just reinvest it into the scholarship.
So really, the question is, does the Career Center want to give money to the scholarships? This is just a source. I mean, whether you make an extra 1% or you make 1% less, really doesn't make any difference. Do we want to get in the policy of taking some of our money and giving it to funding scholarships? I mean, which it's not like I don't want to help fund scholarships, but the question is, does the board want to start getting into that, going down that road? Because if you open that door, then where do you close it? What is not eligible for? I mean, how about the care closet? Let's get some money to the care closet. Let's get some money to whatever the charity or the charitable contribution
Sure.
of the month is.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, but it isn't, and I don't think it should be looked at like we're making so much money in the interest, that we should give some of it away. If we want to give it away, let's give it away, but don't say because we're making 6% extra.
No, that's not what I was.
No, I'm not saying that you're just presenting.
Right.
Because it was asked of you.
You know, from a historical perspective, originally we were making almost no interest. I mean, so those of you that have been on this board for a while know we were making less than 100,000. So that money all went into the scholarships. We had a board member who had a problem with that and said that you're making money off of the scholarship, you're making money off the general fund and reinvesting it, and did not think that that was appropriate. And the board chose at that time an all of them. So they went from 100% funding from that revenue stream to 0%. But I won't say argument, but my comment would be, just looking at the scholarship funds. C. Holly has 5,000, OCB 2,000, Gene Haas 41,000, Don Simmons 56,000, and THS scholarship 13,000. We have 11,000, Jason Light 77,000, Terry Gasser 23,000, NCBA 13,000, Bethany or Leonard Denver 16,000, Sneezak 11,000. So my comment is, we've been making money on all of those scholarships all along, and then dropping it right back into general fund. I would say that at a minimum, we would take whatever percentage those monies are gained and put them right back into those funds.
So that's a whole different approach. So, which makes sense is, in other words, that money is sitting there. So instead of having it sitting there in a bank, you have it sitting there in our investment account, so that it's making money, sort of like an endowment, right? And so then I would be 100% in favor of that, because why not? Why shouldn't they be earning money just like our? But if we're talking, and it's not that I'm against funding scholarships or anything, it's just that the question is whether you want to have a person or donating money. And I was unaware of that. What's this?
So those dollars are essentially a down fund. They that's the death of almost activity.
Yeah, the biggest one, the two biggest would be Don Simmons at 56,000, Van Upser at 11, Jason Light and Terry Gasser. Jason Light is student pathway from here 77,000, Terry Gasser is 23. So I would look at the whole thing and say, our scholarship money represents 5% of what he's got invested, so 5% of that investment should go right back into those scholarships. That would be my opinion.
Sure.
And Medina, what we did is whatever, and it's student council, because I would track those as an advisor. Whatever the amount of money was, they would figure what the interest was, and that's how much they got. And the same, if we have a Collins scholarship, and he's got almost $1 million in there, and so whatever that money makes, that's exactly what he gets back. In that scholarship fund, so it's not that we're giving anything, it's just that we're investing that money and then he gets that money in the scholarship fund.
Exactly right.
And that's your endowment.
And we've got two endowments coming that I'm familiar with, both in the range of $1 million. So having this policy in place before those two big endowments come is important.
Yeah.
That's the other piece.
So Aaron, are we able to segregate that?
Yeah. So, I mean, when we do investments, it's basically our cash balance, right? So this is part of our cash balance.
Yeah.
So part of the 17.5 million, 282,000 of it is for scholarships. So yeah, can I extrapolate that
Yeah.
piece? Yes, I can. And that would be easy.
I just support keeping that separate, because that's an endowment and it's
Right.
fair to use taxpayers' funds to support scholarships.
Right.
What Bob was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll bring it next month. Okay.
That's a good decision.
Next is the treasury action items. Under item A is monthly financial statement, monthly expenditures. Under item B is out of state professional development. Under item C is FY25 transfers. Item D is the May 2025 5-year forecast. And item E is records disposal. I'm asking for approval of items A through E.
Is there any questions on any of the items A through E that someone like to ask? Hearing none, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I can discuss 5-year forecast, the transfers, you guys like. That's a big piece, if you will. So just so you know, this forecast before the transfer is out, compared to October we were up $500,000. So that's pretty good as far as what I projected. The transfers going out, just so you know, I'm looking to transfer roughly $8 million at the end of June for our part of it is our PI, our permanent improvement fund is negative, so we gotta make that whole. roughly, right now, it's 5.6 million. 2.6 of that is the transfer for the South Campus, okay, so that's already built in. We have a couple, small transfers of fees, we'll have a transfer to the Rotary Fund. And I'm going to front load the bond fund or the PI fund, for bond payments of roughly 1.1 million. So that'll be built in, that is all inclusive of the $8 million. And then there'll be a transfer from the governor's, the state funding, the $1 million that we received for our fire tower. I'll transfer that to the PI fund, that'll be coming as well.
Do you have this broken down in the sheets?
Yeah, I have broken down here, you will see them at the June meeting.
So we don't have.
Now, first thing,
$8
training,
million plus another million. Yeah.
no, 8 million total.
Oh, okay. So it's
Right. And that's under line item 5.010, which is operating transfer capital. So when you look at the 5-year forecast, you see that line item right there, yes, thank you. 8 million, that includes all those I just discussed.
Yeah, and we actually run a PI levy, or is that a big part of the budget?
This is part of it.
The regular PI levy, but we don't.
We run our construction projects through the permanent improvement fund. We always have since we established that fund 6 years ago. I'm not sure.
But there's no levy.
Yeah,
We still operate on our 2 original levies. There was one levy that didn't pass, 96, 97, give or take a minute. And we have not been back since. So we're cooperating with 2 main levies from the original.
Have you, given any thought if House Bill 96 passes, how that's gonna affect us?
right now it's not going to affect us. We're not discussing that openly because it does affect K-12s. But there's a provision in there or lack of provision for exemptions. Unless the Senate adds it at the last minute. Now, what this does, these transfers will help lower our carryover balance, obviously. But we're still above the 25% threshold.
I think it's 30 now.
It is 30.
That's where.
There's talk of it going up or maybe even more, but.
I think the comment was made that career tech expenses are much higher than the jobs. Supposedly that's why we're exempt.
I think so, let's finalize that.
Fair question. Mr. Gillingham, Ms. Day, Mr. Karen.
Aye.
Mr. Madison. Ms. Richard.
Aye.
Mr. Steiger. Mr. West.
Yes.
Mrs. Deli.
Aye.
Mr. Guzman. Thank you. Thank you. Superintendent's items for information, Mr. Christian.
Thank you. A, B, and C are related specifically to the career development, career enhancement, and the staff handbooks for adult education. We look at those every single year. I really think it's minimal changes overall. There is a course of study on there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. One of which is vision care. We've got a tribal video program. We look at every aspect of it. So that is providing for information as far as courses of study. There's job description. There is the job description, the assistant to the treasurer that Aaron has presented, and then career training instructor is on there as well. We're asking for textbook approvals, specifically for the career and community experience. It is a good, strong curriculum for our students with disabilities. And principals report, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. President. On May 7th, we hosted our National Signing Day. We had County Commissioners Hambley, Mr. Harrison, and Colin Twedick here. 130 of our students signed that they're going directly into the workforce.
Numerous scholarships were presented that day, and then 15 of our students that had signed to go into the military were recognized as well. Underneath that, so far going into this summer, we've got over 100 students that are going to be doing summer internships, working at employment in their career fields. Next page, our animal care and management students competed on May 2nd at the veterinary science competition in Columbus. We had a first place team in grooming, a fourth place team in veterinary science, and an 8th place in equine management. And then they have several other students that placed 3rd and 5th as individual competitions. Below that, I mentioned at the award ceremony, we've had already 2 national champions for this school year. BPA competed in Orlando May 7th through 11th. Sam Paolata from Brunswick in cybersecurity and digital forensics. He placed 1st in the country in computer security. And Jaden Walter from Medina, a business marketing student, placed 1st in advanced interview skills. And then they had 2 other teams that placed in the top 10 in the country. These individuals here, some of you that have been on the board for a while, Mr. Whitney, our diesel technology instructor, had 4 of his students in here presenting to the board. These are 3 of the 4 students that were going to the CAT Think Big program. Mr. Whitney went to watch them graduate a couple of weeks ago. Very proud. The one young lady, the 4th in that crowd, she was the one that got accepted out in Oklahoma and didn't make it out there. She missed home, but our 3 that stayed home completed the program and are on a good way to a wonderful work career. Underneath that, Mr. Fitch already talked to you about us being recognized as distinguished high school for PLTW. A couple of years ago, I had mentioned this Force 8 program. Mr. Lewis, our auto technology instructor, is involved in this. If you look at the comparison, let's scroll up a little bit, Mr. Witzel. This is a program that bridges the gap between high schools and post-secondary schools going into the workforce. And it's credentials that they can learn through Force 8 program. If you look that our students completed over 560 of those different methods, and there's no other school around even close to our number that are taking advantage of this program and preparing for the workforce. In the last piece, Mr. Chrisman and I attended on May 1st, recognizing and watching our students sign their intents for the military. We had 15 students, 14 of them are current. One of the students we had, Noah Young, he worked with our custodial maintenance. His deployment got delayed a year, so we kept him on staff, but we also recognized him with this graduating class, and he should be leaving here shortly. He hasn't left yet. So, any questions about what's going on in the high school level? Yes, sir.
So for the internships, 100 internships.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very impressive number, but in relationship to how it did the year before that, I think that would be a really huge.
I'll send you guys all of that.
Yeah.
Comparison.
And then when you present it, show that, hey, it was only 85 last year and 70 the year before, because that's obviously a number that we need to continue to keep increasing. That basically is a indication of success in our program.
I will take that. You're welcome. Anyone else?
I wanted to jump on real quick because we went by there quickly, but just make sure everybody is aware of how difficult it is to get into that CAP program. It's highly sought after. I don't know what percentage of applicants they take, not many. And the fact that they graduated from that program, that's not an easy program. But the wonderful part is, as he said, guaranteed employment when you graduate from that program. You go right into their system. That's a pretty tough road. So congratulations to them and to your program.
And that was Mr. Whitman's first group of students that he had go through this program. And again, just a reminder, Mr. Whitney was the Career Center's first student ever to get into that thing. big program through CAT and the success that we've had.
That's the program where you showed us all that amazing equipment.
So I think the other comment was the kid that plays first, it's read between the lines, the kid that plays first in cybersecurity. How much money will he make over the course of a lifetime? I think more than others.
Yes.
That's the answer. National champion in cybersecurity. That's absurd.
It's my cousin, by the way.
So everything he learned.
I'm just saying.
Well done.
Rick is a powerful one.
Thank you.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I have a lot to share, so I'll move through it as quickly as I can. Just a quick update on what was happening this past month. I'm very proud to serve as the proctor for the Ohio Department of Public Safety, and that means that I test both the high school and the adult side. Our fire students took their exam just this past month, and we had 100% passage for fire. Not only that, but we had 100% passage for our CNA students. That's a certified nurse aide, and that has been the trend since we started that program last year. Every single class, we got 100% passage. I would put that up against anybody in the state of Ohio. It might be a record. It's unbelievable. So they're doing a great job there. And I'd like to just show you what's happening in the evenings here around the building. This is Mr. Upson's class, our electricity program. This is the starting point class, so they're learning the theory behind it. And Chris Upson has partnered with Julie Benkloff. She's one of our high school instructors here, and borrowing some of her equipment to share with the students. And so that class is going fantastic. We were sad when our last Excel teacher, Bob Sukul, who taught us for many, many years, 25 to be exact, when he resigned. However, we were very excited that Dana Payne was able to pick up where he left off and relaunch this class. And she is our business and marketing instructor on the high school side. She did a great job with the class. They loved the program, and they were going so fast. She was continuously giving them harder and harder assignments towards the end. Our law enforcement class wrapped up on May the 10th. And I just want to share with you, we had 100% placement in last year's class. I'll also share with you that if you remember from the year before, for the board members that were maybe not here the year before, we did not run law enforcement. And so when we look back at how this last class ran, it was really the free tuition that gave us just enough of a push to go over the edge with that so that we could run that class. All those students are working in the community. So thank you for that. Anybody's ever watched King of the Hill? You ever watched King of the Hill? The cartoon? Right, it's a funny cartoon. Well, I met the real Hank Hill. His name is Frank Edwards, and he's with Coal Energy, and we're going to be partnering with him for the upcoming school year. He's going to be teaching propane to our students. We'll be possibly the only HVAC program in the state that's doing that type of curriculum. And when the lab was redone, by the way, that was plumbed in there. I get to hear from the counselors from around Medina County, and they share with me how excited they are and how amazed they are and how thankful they are for the free tuition opportunity that you've offered to their students. The Wadsworth counselor, Lori Freund, she wrote you and she directed this. It was written directly to the Board of Education. She really wanted to reach out and thank you for providing this incredible opportunity for their students, that they're looking for different pathways for them, and you have removed that barrier for so many of those students that they can take advantage of that. So she sent her deep thank you to you. The move is on. We've been planning for this, but it is underway right now. And so this was actually Mr. Gates here. He's our HVAC instructor. He was one of the last people in the old phlebotomy lab that's now being converted into the vision care program. And you can see they have now temporarily relocated to the high school side. And so that's up and running. Martha's pictured there. She's standing all the way back behind a bunch of boxes over there. She's packing up the medical assisting and phlebotomy labs. And I was laying on the floor for Gary so that he could see, and Gary's laughing about that, so he could see exactly where the dental chair was going to be located when we moved them over to the new facility. And I did have my finger in my mouth because Mr. Chrisman, it was 2:30 when I was there. It makes sense. And I got yelled at by our dental instructor because I shouldn't be putting my finger on. everybody's probably aware that we teach CPR to our EMT students, but we have students across the building learning it. So I just wanted to share, I happened to walk into the class the one evening, our dental students were learning CPR and doing a great job with that. And speaking of dental assisting, they had their mock interviews. This was one of Kyle Whistle's big projects for us as our career counselor, and he headed this up for both the HVAC and our dental assisting students. We had stakeholders from across the county. We had dentists, orthodontists who came in to help with the interviews. You can see actually Mr. President and Mrs. Winslow there who helped out with the interviews as well. We appreciate everybody's assistance. I can tell you that the students were a little skeptical at the beginning. They're like, why do we have to do fake interviews? At the end of it, they were like, wow, this was so incredibly beneficial to go through this. And as Steve and Annette know, we had some conversations with some people afterwards, and they were planning on offering jobs to those students right away because they were so impressed after the interview. I will pass out to you some of the invitations just to make sure that everybody has one for the upcoming award ceremony. So we had some questions about this because we did move the ceremony. It's always been held on a Thursday, and I had some questions. I won't trip on that, Mary. We had some questions about that being held. It's always been on Thursday. I had some questions about being held on Tuesday. It is on Tuesday. We did move the date, and we moved the date because we were looking for when we can use the Medina facility, since we're not sure what's going to happen here in the building with the remodel for the vision care program. And we've also combined, we have two separate ceremonies in the past. We had a pinning ceremony and we had our award ceremony. That is all going, we want to recognize all of our students' accomplishments at one time. So that is going to take place on Tuesday the 19th, and we hope that you can, or excuse me, not the 19th, Tuesday the 17th. So not on the national holiday, as Mr. Christmas pointed out. So we hope that you can join us for that. And I'm also going to hand out a copy of our brand new course catalog to you. That was mine. We've seen this before. Go here. So I'll just point out to you some quick changes that we made. If you open up the first page of the prior catalog, this was the enrollment process. This whole page is right here. This whole big long page. You will see the enrollment process is very simple now. You can apply online, scan the QR code, or just call us. That's it. We're just trying to make it easy on our students. If you look at the financial aid, you'll see how simple that is now. You're just 3 easy steps. And also point out the adult diploma program. The adult diploma program was an entire page of writing, a full page of lots of detail for somebody who does not have their high school diploma. So this was the instructions. We now made that very simple. It's just 3 simple things. Do you live here? Can you take this one test in our office and then take one of our programs? It's that simple. And because of this, because of some of the simplification, at our award ceremony, we are going to graduate the highest number of students, I would think probably ever in the history of the program. We have 8 students that are going to walk across the stage with their high school diploma. So that's a huge increase for us, and we're very excited about that. You will also notice that the catalog is organized by location. So if you see at the bottom of the page here, Public Safety Services, this whole page is at the South Campus. And if you turn the page here, all the medical programs are at the South Campus. Trade and industry stays here at the main campus. So that was the easiest way we could figure out organizing this. And if you have anywhere that we could put some of these, we would be happy to do that. I will also tell you we printed these in-house so we can make more. We did this at less than half the cost of what we paid last time we did the catalog. So, thank you very much.
One more thing, fresh off the presses for attendance recommendation. What did you hear from ACTE this week?
Yes, we have been selected to present at the state conference specifically about the free tuition opportunity. So we will be sharing that with all of the career technical schools across the state of Ohio and sharing with them the success. Obviously, we've had a huge increase in enrollment. We've had an increase in funding as well. I just received our state subsidy last week, And that's an increase over our prior state subsidies. We got 35,000. I think the highest we had before was 32 since I've been here. So we've seen that number go 28, 32, up to 35,000. So we're bringing in more revenue that way as well because the numbers bump. So all good information. We're looking forward to sharing with the rest of the state. Yes, sir.
So, surprise, surprise. I would like to encourage you to see if there's a possibility that you could add maybe the most popular career program that is growing faster than anything else in the country.
I have a guess, but no, please.
Cybersecurity and
Okay.
artificial intelligence would make it available to all the students in Medina County. And there are so many students that regret not going to the career center. I talk to them all the time. I wish not only here in this county, but for Polaris, for Cuyahoga Valley, the students realize they missed the boat, and we're giving the opportunity. So that is where it says you have the opportunity for free tuition. Is if you were within 3 years of graduation. Is that
18 to 24.
18 to 24? Okay. So that's the only.
18 to 24.
Okay. So I just think that would be a no-brainer. I think you would have the doors busted down.
I appreciate that, and we'll keep considering that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, under action items, letter A is student fees. As we told you last month, you took one student across the board in every single program. It was about a 1% increase. The high school team did a great job doing that. The next one is Liz Rumble. She is our crisis counselor, and she would like to attend the Wellness Together conference. We will need to separate out C because it is Josh Dane. It's out-of-state travel, but it's specific for him. He has to take this training to offer AP chemistry. To teach an advanced placement class, you have to take this. He did write in, Mrs. Bengoff did write and got free tuition, which was really good. So again, I think we should sub out C. Letter B, Mr. Matt has worked very closely with Amanda Pishak in regards to all of the new equipment that is going to be necessary in the new lab. The company that is listed is not on the state term pricing, but they competed against a company that was in state term pricing and beat them significantly. Mr. Knapp has those quotes if you would like to see them. The ESC contract is attached. There's no major fundamental changes from one year to the next. Letter F is the American Dining Creation Service contract. We have been so happy with American Dining Creations or American Food and Vending is what their true umbrella was. We didn't realize that our contract was like 5 or 6 years out of date. We were just going on business as usual. But when I wanted them to add in the micro market at South Campus, we looked at the old contract and went, this is terribly out of date. And so we have written a 5-year contract. I will tell you that any proceeds that they get from South Campus will go back to subsidizing our free lunch here at the high school level. Textbooks are there for your approval. Then we have the collective bargaining agreement for the certificated staff, the non-certificated staff, adult education. We're very closely with Chris. That was probably the one that was the most difficult to do, quite frankly, because they only had one scale and it started at $14.75 an hour. I can tell you they're not going to find a teacher that has that strong content knowledge at $14.75. So what we did do is Chris did an exhaustive study of those around us, and really $30 an hour was really close to where we needed to be. And so we created a 3-year scale. We got rid of the bottom 3 levels and restored the top 3 levels. And remember, we made a significant change to those the last time. And then we used the 3.5%, 3%, everybody else got to kind of perpetuate that. Most of our teachers are going to be right at that $30 average. We literally went to all of the main instructors and we looked at what the salaries would be. And all of the main instructors will either hit that 30 in the first year or by the 3rd year. Maybe what we found like as many victims as we could and kind of kept going through the years. The administrative compensation plan is there. And again, we use the 3.5, 3.3. Under personnel, we did hire Ryan McMaster. He is he's, well, we could go first. Michelle Serta, Welcome Center Secretary, has taken a full-time position. Frank Baluch, our precision machining teacher, is retiring. Cindy Shimura, CPR instructor, also retiring. And then we have added Ryan McMaster, much to the joy of Mr. Gillingham. Ryan McMaster is going to take the software engineering and web development. He's probably going to drop the web development after we meet with our programming committee, but he's already added all of our teachers teach 4 courses. His 4th course is going to be strictly related to AI. He was a data analytics and AI specialist with the Navy. Shannon Graham is new to Mr. Butz's office. Jillian Johnson has been an educational aide, and when we expanded the career training, she had all the certifications necessary. I'd like to introduce the Board of Education to Heidi Chapman. She's in the back row. Heidi has been with the local school district for how many years? 18 years. She is a resident of Wadsworth, and her husband is one of the wrestling coaches for Medina. So certainly want to welcome Heidi to the family. Mr. Glenn will tell you that he was the link. He was responsible for when we would do the 8th grade tours and such. Heidi would come through with the 8th grade tours, and he tells me years ago he came to her and said, "I have got to work here." And so finally that's come true, but I think Mr. Glenn would like to take all the credit for the beginning. Jenny Fitzgerald was selected as a social studies teacher, and Pam Wheeler, a previous board member with Black River and a previous adult ed instructor, has been selected for our allied health and pre-nursing instructor for the program. The coolest thing is she is a graduate of that program, and those are, that's how you leave a legacy. Contract revisions, we accidentally stepped Josh when we should not have, so with that as a correction. Aniko Allen is moving to a 4, but I will tell you that she, and there was a data manager specific all alone standalone bracket, which made no sense for it to be all alone, all by itself. So she became a 4, and Aniko, because she really kind of supervises that, needed to be a 4 too. But so Aniko didn't see a significant raise. She went from like step 13 to step 6 or something along those lines. Step 18 to 6, so that the numbers match. So it's not like she got a huge raise going from a 3 to a 4. It's reclassification with a backwards step. Isaiah Powell, he was an intern with us last year. He is now Bowling Green, Kent State. And he's going to do his summer internship with Mary again. And then we've got and then we've got some supplementals for student interns, and then the science degree. So then we've got dollar contracts and donations. So I'm happy to speak to any one of those. The Valley City Community Group did give $2,000 towards the care process. So that was really good. So I believe we'll take questions certainly, but the first motion should be for A through N, withdrawing C.
I'm gonna do.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I have a question on the adult ed salary schedule. How come on the step 28 is like $40 or 41, and then step 30 is a lower amount?
Okay, the short answer, without looking at that, we found 2 others like that and we missed it. I don't know why the old contract had that, so I can tell you what we did, and we found 2 of the 3, clearly I missed one. We copied what the scale was, and we times it by 3.5%, and there were 2 other locations where it went down, so let me see what that would be an appropriate revision for that, give me just 1 second.
It's step 30 and 32 both go down.
No good answer for that.
Okay,
But I can, the board can still say with revisions to 30 and 32. And we'll make the appropriate percentage revisions to move them up.
okay,
Good
and then,
catch.
okay, and then the other question is, in the, collective bargaining agreement, I don't see any salary schedule. So this, can you tell us what the, starting salary would be for each of the 3 years?
Short answer, yes. And we will have them after this meeting.
Okay.
Are you calling up the scale right now?
Sure.
And even while we're meeting here, she'll be able to have those 3.
Okay,
We have them separate in our file. Master agreements. CBA 25 to 28. So they're all 3 there. Open up to the 25, 26 Excel. She'll add all of those right now. Plus a few times. For some reason that is dead at the top. It's dead center in the middle. It's not on normally where our computers are. The plus a few times. That's also good, like 51,573 would be the opening with bachelor's plus no experience.
okay,
Says that helps with the fund. Oh. Oh, right. This was your 25 search, July 25th, or July 1st to 25. Right. Should be about 23. Then the following year will be 53, 120. We've already got a PDF and then we just haven't had them.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
So then with the motion, do we have to do the addition of the correction and the,
With the correction to the adult at 30 and 32 steps. She's gonna put it right there with the addition of changing the 30 and 32 scales to reflect increases. Because the other, it's like you're 10 or 12 or something like that, it was a balance or somewhere, right? Chris actually had a vacation day for last Friday, but got rid of the vacation day and spent all day with us to try to get all of this done. So, no, it's like, he thinks I should cancel and get it back.
it's 30 and 32. 30 and 32.
Good catch, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion for,
We have the motion.
or we have a roll call for A through N excluding C.
Mr. Gillingham.
Aye.
Mr. Seibert.
Aye.
Mr. Karen.
Aye.
Mrs. Dane.
Aye.
Mr. Mattson. Aye. Ms. Pritchard.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Yes.
Mrs. Deli.
Aye.
Mr. Aye. Okay, item C,
I'll make a motion to approve item C.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Pritchard.
Aye.
Mr. Mattson.
Aye.
Mr. Karen.
Aye.
Mrs. Dane. Mr. Gillingham.
Aye.
Mr. Cyber.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Yes.
Mrs. Deli.
Aye.
Mr. Houston. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're hired, you're hired.
Number 11, board member action items. We have an approval for the stipend for the superintendent and the treasurer for putting together the Medina County Career Center South. All the work that went into that.
Make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
No, I'd like to recognize, other people who do the same thing over there. I wouldn't mind if the board would consider doing something for them. Like, I like to get a room about married, what else to go over there, and what else to go over there. Really give it up vacation time and stuff. And everyone really got an out job, whatever there. I just like to see you bring the positive and something for that. I like to do.
Okay.
They are making increases and steps for their contract fees.
Okay.
But I do appreciate it because quite frankly, they are doing the lion's share.
There's a lot. And I would consider, yeah, I'll be there, I'll witness it through. And there's, I think. Better, or we could just, we all put together as we do and now. There's like that to do.
Okay. Roll call. Mr. Gillingham.
Aye.
Mrs. Deli.
Aye.
Mr. Karen.
Aye.
Mrs. Dane.
Aye.
Mr. Mattson.
Aye.
Ms. Pritchard.
Aye.
Mr. Cyber.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Yes.
Mr. Houston. Aye. Board member comments? Do we have any board member comments?
I got two, one on New Hire, and for Eric's office. He's personable ground. Right, really work with stuff. And also, I was here, I got a conversation, might be guys work for me. And there was like the most disgusting mess of food down there underneath this roof. And I asked him about that today, he goes, oh, we're trying to get that fixed. I suggested we're making some of that spray foam, to the premises or something. And he figured out stuff, and then it was poo everywhere, bird food. I'd like to see if we can do something about that. I know it's part of the new construction that I had. You don't want to construct that, there's no way there for conflict. So that's, yes. Forward.
Anyone else?
I just had a question. This morning I sent a text to Steve. And I read that our meeting was supposed to be here last month, you had it, that said, okay? And there was something that he had, I don't even know what it was, but it was like 3 things that it said, Southampton, and I'm like, oh my God, where am I supposed to go today? I don't remember exactly what I was reading because I was doing this over the weekend. And so I just texted and I said, where are we at? And so it got me to thinking, and this is just a suggestion, and so if we don't do it, it's fine, but I was just wondering if when we have our work sessions, could those just always be, say, like 4 o'clock there at the South Campus and
That's neat.
then leave our meetings here, since we've got the space and all that. So anyway, if I would, and Bob had asked me when we were done with graduation on Wednesday, he said, where's our meeting this week? And I says, it's at that main campus instead. So I'm thinking if it was supposed to be at the South Campus, I thought, oh my God, I gotta call him today and let him know that, it's switched. And when you said it's here, I thought, okay, fine. So anyway, that's what got me thinking.
Can we get a tentative, maybe 3-4 months time frame that you can we can do an email or go back to it.
Can you go back to home on that in there? Back to home. The home screen. They will always be listed, they are on the left-hand side,
Okay,
as soon as you log in. But yeah, we can, but they'll always be there, but I'm happy to send something else out.
That way you guys can revert back to them if you ever forget one and all and one and down. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, Bob.
Comments.
Comments?
So I'm just looking first on my phone where I'm supposed to be paying attention to the meeting. The core skills for 2030. The source World Economic Forum Future of Jobs Survey dated 2024. The number one, 90% choice, AI and big data. Under emerging skills, 80%, the number one choice, networks and cybersecurity. So I'm in like 25 different schools. Some of these schools are ducking AI big time. Others are charging forward even ahead of us. And I'm telling you, 5 years from now, we're gonna look back at this and like, this is the biggest no-brainer. Every business out there is gonna be he's gonna need cybersecurity and he's gonna be using artificial intelligence. And every hiring manager is gonna be using that as a primary question when they interview. What can you use, how can you use artificial intelligence to improve our company? Or to improve whatever their main goal is in their company. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'd like to make one more comment. I sent an email thanking every office staff, and people and stuff for working so hard on that pouring rain. And the people who were drying off their cars so they could be ready. So I think there's only a half dozen of them that got stuck. And I could see from where I was sitting and those things were soaked and they were pulling apart and drying. For only a half dozen people out of 430 something kids. Yeah, that was phenomenal amount of work and the staff that worked with the crowd and everything else, chairs up. It was phenomenal and it turned out to be a fantastic event. The kids had a good time. Talked to several parents about us leaving, they had a good time. It was a good event, contrary to this family and to be honored. They didn't mind the rain because you know what, it's a one-time deal for all of them. And so we did really good by having a great job.
Okay. Anything else? We do not have a need for executive session, so I have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
second,
Roll call.
Mr. Schreiber.
Aye.
Mrs. Ellis.
aye.
Mr. Karen. Aye. Ms. Day. Mr. Gillingham. Aye. Mr. Latson. Aye. Ms. Richards.
Aye.
Mr. West.
Yes.
Mr. Russo.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Well, I